Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you so much for being here. And can you introduce yourself and what content that you do?
Yeah, my name is Luke. I go by Linklight online, and I've been a content creator for 10 years now. I just had my 10-year anniversary. Um,
Congrats!
Thank you, thank you. But yeah, I've been full time for around 8 years, and I'm here to like maybe learn something because um, I think how I want to preface this whole
Mhm.
thing is I feel like I'm a pretty good content creator. I mean, I'm a really creative person and I love making content, but I'm an awful businessman. Like horrible, absolutely terrible. And it wasn't until recently where I started learning a lot of things, and
Mhm.
your content has taught me a lot over the past like I want to say 2 years or so.
No way it's been that long.
Yeah, I think I
Dang.
started watching you like early COVID or maybe like mid COVID, something like that. So,
Oh, it has been that long. Dang.
mhm.
That is crazy. Wow. I'm so honored that like people watch me for this long. Like, damn, I be yapping all the time. You'll actually listen to me.
Then a lot of
Dang.
yapping.
Yeah, honestly, like that's always a struggle, right? Because like content creating and business acumen is like not the same thing, and it's like it's you can have one or the other. It's hard to have both.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I could teach you something. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I think you're extremely knowledgeable, so this will be interesting.
yeah, the real secret as to why I did these interviews is to have all you amazing creators compliment me, so my ego can inflate. Would you consider yourself a full time or a part time streamer?
Definitely. Oh, streamer?
Or sorry,
Well,
creator. I'm so used to saying because the previous person we interviewed was mainly a streamer, so my brain.
right,
Mhm.
right. I would definitely classify myself as a full-time
Okay.
creator, 100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you don't have, like, a job outside of content creation, content creation is your job?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I don't really have a job outside of content creation.
Okay, awesome. What platforms are you on, and what content do you create?
My main platform is YouTube.
Mhm,
I'm also on Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter,
mhm.
but mainly YouTube. I have not been very active on Twitch or TikTok for a while.
Got it, got it. So, what are your streams of income as a content creator, and can you give us a breakdown of it? And it could just be, like, what you had given me.
Okay, yes. So, um, do you want like numbers right now, like
Yeah.
amounts? Okay, so I'd say here I have to look at what I sent you because I don't exactly remember. Um, so at the moment, I'd say I make around like 1.8K to like 2K in ad revenue per month on
Mhm.
YouTube. For sponsors, it really varies a lot, but last month I did really well. Um, Made 5,900. Um, and then for Twitch, I made $19 because I don't stream anymore. And then I picked up like a real job for the
Mhm.
first time in a very, very long time. I made like $500 from that. So
Got it, got it. Thank you for this breakdown. What do you do for
mm.
your real job, if I may ask? If you're comfortable with
Well,
saying.
yeah, I worked at a gaming cafe.
Uh-huh. That is
Um,
so fun. What?
Yeah, it was cool. I had a friend who, like, kinda basically hooked me up. I didn't have to, like, actually, like, apply for the job. I just got an interview, and then I was, like, already in.
Mhm.
Um, but it started to really, like, impact my sleep schedule and, like, my routine that I have with content creation, so I actually, quit, like, within 2 weeks, so or 3
Your
weeks.
friend's like, "Bruh."
Yeah.
That is so funny. When
Yeah.
out of curiosity, what made you pick up this real job given that you did say this is a good month for you, but it seems like you make, like, a good amount off of content already.
Yeah, so as we'll talk about like further into the interview, like
Mhm.
one of my big things with content creation is it can be very lonely.
Mm.
You don't have coworkers, you don't have like people that you regularly interact with,
Mhm.
at least for, like how I do things. So I really wanted to, try to put myself into a situation where I do get to socialize with people and be more like a normal person, but um unfortunately didn't like work out the way I intended it to.
No, I honestly feel that. I had a job too, and then I quit 6 months ago, and then I was like I literally had a shower thought today because I was like I listened to Reddit stories when I'm in the shower, and it was like something, like, story about, like, some crap that happened at work, and I was like, "Oh, I'll never have coworkers again." In the traditional sense, and I was like, "That's such a weird thought to
Yeah.
think." It's like,
Yeah.
I won't have, like, office gossip and, like, people to see. Oh my god, my coworkers in chat. I miss Cat as a coworker. I miss you too as a coworker. But doing content for a job is so much more fun in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, I wanna go into your YouTube first, and, like, I sent you the notes, so, I mean, we're gonna go in, breakdown of the content and stuff like that. How many subs do you have per channel just for chat to know if they're not familiar with your content? Because you do have
Okay.
3, right? Sorry,
So
also,
I
I'm so sorry. My cat is being a little demon right now. Okay,
That's
sorry,
okay.
continue.
Um, so I'm assuming you found my 3 channels
Mhm.
through my link tree, right? That's where
Exactly,
I'm
that's where I
guessing.
stalked you.
Okay, so like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years. I
Mhm.
have probably over like 12 channels. A lot of them are abandoned, but they do
Okay.
have a significant amount of subscribers and views on them. But yeah, mainly on my main channel right now that I'm active on,
Mhm.
I have 134,000. I have 48K on like a gaming channel I used to upload a lot to. It's been
Mhm.
inactive for a bit. Um, I put here that it used to be 50,000, but YouTube kind of knocks it down every once
Oh.
in a while from inactivity.
Mhm.
Um, and then the other one that you saw, I have 1,000 on a Counter Strike channel. It's just like a
Oh, I
little,
saw that one, yeah.
yeah, it's just like a little side thing that I
Mhm.
was working on last year for a bit. Um, but yeah, the big one that you didn't see was I used to have a Minecraft machinima channel, which
Oh.
yeah, so this is actually kind of fun because
Mhm.
I always like to tell people about this. Machinima, for a lot of people, when they think of that word, they think of the company that like no longer exists. They dominated YouTube for a long time,
Mhm.
but machinima is actually a genre. Um, People don't know that. So it's like animation, but within like the game engine. So it's like I
Oh.
made skits like within Minecraft using only Minecraft rather than like
Wait,
Blender or
that's
something.
so interesting. Cause like, I knew somebody in high school who was doing that base I'm so sorry. My cat gets very, very needy around this time at night, so
That's
he
okay.
is now just gonna I'm so sorry. He likes to also push buttons on my stream deck. I'm just trying to relocate things so that he can sleep on my desk and not mess with my stream setup. But
Walking
I
on the
have
stream deck.
no, he likes to like I'm so
I think you just muted yourself.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, it's my cat that is touching my stream deck. Can you not, Corn? Okay, so he's gonna cause problems. But I had a friend, or not a friend, but he like was somebody that I knew in high school, and he would do like these Minecraft animations and like the software. I sat behind him in like a class. I would just like watch him all the time. Is that what it was about? Like he
Sort
would like
of.
do the animations in it and stuff?
Well, it sounds like to me he was using maybe like Blender or some kind of animation software.
Oh, okay.
But for me, like I did it within games. So I'd have my friends like log on and
Oh.
I'd be like, hey, I'd be like, this channel was so much work. I can't believe I did this. This was my first YouTube channel. I would literally like storyboard it like
Uh-huh.
animators do. And then I would like have my friends act as the characters. So I'd be like, okay, so for this scene, you're gonna walk out this door, walk 10 steps, look at this character, shake your head 15 times, and then you're gonna come in here and like I'd direct it, like I'd be a director. And
When were you
then
doing this? That sounds like so much work.
it was. I sometimes I look back at like what I did in
Uh-huh.
the past, and I'm like, I could never do that today. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no amount of money that would make me want to do that.
And
But
that's only like 4 of your channels too. You have like 8 more?
yes, yes, I like I said, I'm a content creator. I like
Uh-huh.
making things, so I make stuff, make stuff, make stuff, and then like I get bored and then I stop, which is really bad for business. But that's just kind of
Mm.
how I've done it, and now I'm trying to not do that.
Could you give like a little summary of like what the 8 other channels are about? I'm just so curious because like that's a lot of
Yeah,
channels for somebody to have.
Yeah, so usually like how I have always thought about it, it's really interesting because I've had a few like YouTube mentors over the years
Mhm.
and like I've gotten different opinions on things, but usually when I like want to switch the game that I make content on because it's always usually been gaming,
Yeah.
I will just make a new channel for it, even though I've been
Mm.
told that's not necessarily the best thing. But yeah, I've done one for RuneScape. I was a big RuneScape player
Mhm.
back in the day. I've done one for like commentary. I always wanted to be one of those YouTubers where I just like put like some
I love those
GTA footage
YouTubers.
or yeah, like Minecraft footage or something, and I
Yeah.
just like talk about stuff.
Mhm.
I did one of those for a while. I've done channels where um, I think I'm trying to remember the name of the channel, but basically there's like channels where like people will put like, hey, how does five plats versus uh
Oh!
five immortals or
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
something like I've done stuff like that in the past. Um and what else have I done? Any like a lot of like random gaming things like
Wow,
that.
you've done, like, everything under the sun. That is crazy.
Yeah.
I
But
respect that.
thank you, thank you. I like to just test my limits sometimes, or
Mhm.
just what I can do.
So then the amount you put for your YouTube earnings, that 1,800 to 12,000, 2,000. Um,
2000, yeah.
yeah, is that across all of your channels, or is that just off of your main channel?
That's just my main channel,
Okay.
but my yeah. Oh, I think
Do you still make money off of the other? I'm guessing because YouTube works like that. You still would get ad revenue if the videos are being watched?
yes. So I
Mhm.
still make ad revenue off of some of them,
Okay.
but eventually, just like how you have to reach a threshold to get into the creator program,
Yeah.
once you fall below a certain threshold for a certain amount of time, they kick you out, which is new. They started that like around 2020, I believe.
Oh.
So a couple of my older channels are no longer partnered because of that,
Mm.
which is fine. I mean, they were bringing in like $20 a month, which
Okay,
is
yeah.
like it's like a free bill, I guess. But
Mhm.
I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't realize YouTube did that and where you can get kicked out after for
Yeah, I remember.
inactivity.
Yeah, that was a big change. I didn't agree with that one.
Is there what's the time window for being kicked out for inactivity? Is it like a year, like 2 years of no uploads?
If you're under the threshold, I think for 2 years they kick you out, but I
Oh,
could be wrong, and they're changing stuff like that all the
okay.
time. Like the new big one, it's kind of a little random, but kind of related. Now they have a new policy where if you don't log into your Gmail account for a year, they just delete it now, which they've never done that before. That's a big one.
I'm, like, panicking thinking about all the Gmail accounts I've used to make, like,
Yeah, I have like
accounts on, like,
40.
shopping websites, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I don't know why they're doing it, but
"What?
it's a future.
Damn, is Google that impacted? What the fuck?" That's so weird, that's trippy. Well, okay, so your gaming, YouTube channel still will passively make you income. How much passive income do you get from that channel?
It's a good question. Do I have my phone on me?
I
I'll
should have
look it up
asked you
right
for all
now.
these info earlier, but
No, that's
sometimes I
okay.
cook
That's
up questions,
okay.
like, on the spot.
Yeah, no, that's totally cool. I'm curious as well. It definitely isn't as much as like I don't know what you're picturing, but yeah,
Mhm.
currently it makes around $16 a month, so not
Oh,
very
okay,
much at
okay.
all. Yeah. And to be fair, that channel was like me gaming with my friends, and that was like older YouTube era, so like we
Mhm.
cursed a lot, so the revenue sucked on that channel. It was really bad.
Oh, especially because like, YouTube rolled out the whole, like, if you say any cuss words within, like, the first, like, 30 seconds, your video just gets nuked or something like that.
Yeah, and even if you curse after 30 seconds, you still get like less premium ads. So cursing affects you in every way, like no matter how you want to look at it.
Dang, that is so unfortunate. I gotta watch my language in these interviews. I don't wanna
Yeah.
I'm gonna upload these to YouTube, I could get mid-roll ads. Dang, now you're telling me that. Mm, I totally forgot about that. That actually sucks. Dang, that's
Yeah.
crazy. YouTube is on something, man, I swear.
Well, I would say YouTube has helped me have a cleaner language in my actual
Mm,
day-to-day life because when I made my current channel, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do everything by the rules.
yeah,
Before I was stubborn, I was like an edgy, like,
yeah.
young 20 something, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, I want to curse. I don't want to follow the rules. But then I was like, okay, I'll try to follow the rules this time and see where it gets me. And it's
Mhm.
been great. When you follow the rules, things work out for you. It turns
Yeah,
out.
all of a sudden, you
Yeah.
make more money. No, my mom is so
Yeah.
happy in chat right now because she hates it when I cuss. She's been, like, up my butt about it for so long. She's like, "Your language is so bad on stream." Now she's like, "Oh, yes, haha. You actually have to clean
Yeah.
up." Not my mom agreeing with this in chat right now. Lovely,
That's too
lovely mom.
funny.
I know. She watches all my streams. It's very sweet, but then it's also, like, if I cuss too much, then she'll yell at me when I come home. She'll
Oh
be like,
no.
I heard what you said on stream, da 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 da
That's
da."
so wholesome though that your mom at least pays attention to what you do. I
Yeah.
can't say the same. My mom is like not
Really?
into social media at all. In fact, she
Mm.
heavily disagreed with what I did for a while. So
How did you convince her how did you, like, win her over in the content world? I feel like a lot of creators are in the same space where their parents, like, heavily disagree with trying to pursue it.
yeah, so without getting like too
Mhm.
crazy, I had to just leave. Like when I was 18, I just said peace and
I'm
I
gone.
moved I moved across the country, did my own thing for a while,
Mhm.
and then once I proved that I could do it,
Mhm.
then she was like, "Oh, okay, I understand."
Oh.
But I don't hold resentment or anything. It's just like she didn't understand, right?
Mhm.
It's like that's not her world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was literally the same with my mom. Like, she was like super against it. Not me spilling all the tea, but she was super against it too, because it was like
Mhm.
also like as a child of immigrants, like they didn't immigrate to the U.S. to suffer to watch their kid try to do the same thing to become like what a TikToker. Like,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
also literally just moved to LA. I was like, bye bye, and then now they understand and now they get it. But it's also again, I was like, I didn't expect them to like this is such a new world for us as it is, and then or like people of a higher generation they're not they like, phones only existed for less than half their lives, you know? Like,
Yeah.
they're not gonna I didn't expect them to understand that this is, like, a new career that's, like, appearing for people, and, I mean, it's making, like, livelihoods for us and, like, a lot of other people that I've interviewed and people in chat too, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. It's
So,
life-changing.
I wanna talk, like, sponsors. So you
Okay.
made 5,900 in the last month in sponsors. Is this, like, a reasonable so you said this is, like, a high month for you, right?
Yes, it was
Okay.
a high month for me. Sponsor money is usually very inconsistent.
Mhm.
Um, it's really hard to find someone that wants to work long term and then, try to like keep finding more to
Yeah.
replace ones that don't want to work anymore.
So what would be like a monthly average for you, would you say, for sponsors?
I would say a safe estimate would probably be let's see, I wrote this down.
Mhm. Damn, you took so many
Uh
notes. You were like the most thorough person so far, by the way. You were like, "Oh, here's this. Here's all the info. Like, da, da, da. Let me know if you need any more info." I was like, "Oh my god. Oh, now I feel bad for being all over the place."
No, it's good. I just like I was really excited to do this,
Mhm.
so I wanted to make sure we did it right. But yeah, I'd say like in terms of like an average, it's like anywhere between like 6.5 and 1K. So maybe you could average at like at around 3K, I'd say. That would probably be or
Okay.
yeah, 2.5, 3, something like that.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Mhm.
Um. So have you had like months higher than this, higher than 5,900, or is this kind of like the peak?
I'm trying to remember. I think the most I've ever made from sponsors is around 6,000. So that
Okay.
would definitely be like peak for sure. Yeah.
Nice. Could you elaborate a bit on the sponsors and what they asked of you? You don't have to like be I would love for you to be specific, but only be as specific as you're comfortable with, if that makes sense.
Right.
Mhm.
So usually I work with a lot of the stereotypical ones that you see on YouTube. So like I'll have a lot of mobile companies reach out to me,
Raid
Raid
Shadow
Shadow
Legends.
Legends. It's a classic.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I've worked with Raid quite a few times. Raid actually has, I didn't know about this until very recently. They have a cooldown on how often they're willing to work with you. So
Really?
sometimes, yes, sometimes I'll have an agency like reach out like Zorka or something, and they'll be like, hey, we're reaching out on behalf to do a deal with Raid. Um, et cetera, et cetera. And then you take the deal and, you make a little paycheck and you're happy. And then another agency will reach out on behalf of Raid
Mhm.
and then you'll talk back and forth. And then I like the first time they were like, wait, we see you did an ad with Raid like 2 months ago. So we can't do that. Has to be at least, I forget what they said, like 3 or 4 months or something.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
maybe it's once per quarter. Like I have no idea like what it is exactly, but I mean, three to 4 months sounds about like once per quarter, probably. Um,
Oh, that's so
but
interesting.
yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to do raid all the time. I
Mhm.
mean,
They
but
pay well.
yes, they do pay well. Yes. So yeah, it's usually like mobile games, other classic ones, like Express VPN or
Mhm.
any VPN company. VPN companies also have the same thing with cooldown, except they also have like rules where you can't work with other competitors like within timeframes. So if you take like a deal with Express, you can't do Nord or something for an X period of time or
You
whatever
charge more
that
for that,
is.
right?
No. So that's something that I really want to touch on
Mhm.
while we talk. I don't know if you want to talk about that right now
We can talk
or
about it now because we're in the spots, and like I'm always down to even like circle back on points if like you think of something or like I probably will think of something later too. And as long as like we get the information out there, this is like a good thing to talk about because a lot of people don't know that they should charge for exclusivity to a company.
right. So here's a dilemma that I've been facing
Okay.
recently. This actually happened. So I'm trying to remember. The 5,900 that I made
Mhm.
last month was actually all of my November deals because everything's like
Yeah.
delayed by a
They
month.
paid into okay.
Yeah. So for December, actually, I lost all my deals. Like all like within like it was like four different companies. I lost all of them within like 3 or 4 days of each other.
Wait, so could you elaborate on that? Did they like did you guys start negotiations and they pulled out like last minute? Is that what happened or
Yes. So we
oh,
were in
fuck.
negotiation and two of them were very, transparent. They
Mhm.
said like, sorry, we're not interested anymore, et cetera, et cetera. And then two of them just ghosted. Like I didn't hear anything from them. But
Mm.
it was around like the same time where I just assumed, okay, I guess it's not happening.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm fortunate enough to be in like a Discord server with a lot of the Smash Bros YouTubers.
Mhm.
Alpharad made like a server for us, so like we have like a little click where we can talk to each other and
Mhm.
stuff. And a lot of them were saying like, yes, like I lost all my deals for December too. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Because I have streamer friends who are telling me like, I got a ton of deals this month. Like they all came in, like December was great for them.
Mhm.
So I don't know what happened there, but I'm trying to remember. I lost the original point I was trying to make. Like you said, what did you originally ask me? You asked me something like,
Oh, I was
um,
talking about the oh, wait, I could touch on the December theory real quick for you, though.
okay,
December for me was also a good month, but also because December typically is a good month, typically, and November because it's the holidays, people look for more deals. But I interviewed an influencer manager literally 2 days ago. And I learned very interesting things from her. So companies work on like obviously they work on like their quarter system. December is the end of the year, and like if they have any marketing budget left, it is typically spent at the end of the quarter. Like the last month of each quarter is where they spend like the budget, and then the end of the year is where they have like all the leftover, like a lot of the leftover budget. But and so they will reach out for more deals. But probably what was happening was like these people were scouting the field for as many creators as possible trying to see like trying to spend as much of the budget as possible and they probably like these people probably scouted you and then used up the budget and then they had to pull out and they kind of like overcommitted because the year is ending
right,
and they have like a time window because they can only even work in half the month because they get the holiday and then they can't even pay you until 2024 essentially. So December deals are also really tricky in which it's extremely rushed because they always need you to complete the deal before in 2023 so that it uses 2023 budget and not 2024's budget. So you need to like submit the payments, at least like the video needs to be up and the payment needs to be put through um like before their holidays, which was like at the latest December like 20th. Everyone will go on holiday, etc. So
right.
they probably over scouted because they're rushing to try to like complete as many deals as possible to use up the budget. And then it just super unlucky though that like four back to back pulled out on you. That's actually like really that's actually like really scummy.
Yeah, and it made me a little nervous
Yeah.
because I don't know how much you know about ad revenue, but like January ad revenue is horrible. So usually
Really?
like yeah, usually a lot of YouTubers will just take January off.
Oh.
I also kind of like to do that in recent years because like usually like if you're a smaller creator, you don't want to do that because like you should always focus on growth, right? Like
Mhm.
January is a great month for growth. But I'm kind of at a place where like, I work a little more strategically than just like the constant
Mhm.
grind. So I do like to take January off. But now I'm like, maybe I should work in January because like I lost all my deals for December.
Dang,
Um,
I did not know I'm like a small YouTuber, so I only have 25,000 subs on YouTube because I gave up on it for like an entire year. So oopsies.
oh,
But
okay.
I had no idea the ad revenue changes month by month like that.
Oh yes. So November, December is like I always like gamer terms. I used to
Uh-huh.
say it's like double XP weekend, like for ad revenue. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's the time to grind. That's where you put out like all your best hitters. If you have like a big video you've been working on, and
What?
it's gonna be like a 1 hour long special that you want to upload that in December, like you want to get out like all the big ad revenue like generating videos in December, late November. Like that's
I
the
wish I
meta.
knew this before because I had videos that I made in December and I scheduled it into January.
Oh no.
Ah!
Well, January is great for growth. It's just
Okay.
really bad for revenue.
It's okay.
So
I don't need the YouTube
it,
money because I don't make anything on it anyways. So
there
that
you
would
go.
change.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Oh, dang. Okay. Dude, see, we're learning from each other. I'm getting so much smarter now too. Holy. Okay, but we were talking about exclusivity and how you said that with ExpressVPN and these VPN companies, they wouldn't work with you or they would sign a deal with you on the caveat that you would be exclusive to only working with them for X amount of time. Mhm,
Right. And then I went on a little tangent. So
mhm,
the reason why I went on that tangent was because I wanted to express that a current problem that I'm dealing with is I feel like I finally grew a backbone recently when
mm,
it comes to sponsors. And now I'm charging what I think is fair,
okay.
and I get ghosted a lot because of it, and
Mm,
it's been extremely frustrating. Or a lot of these, I'm not going to say everyone ghosts because there's some companies that are just like, hey, we're sorry, we can't do that
yeah.
amount, like, but we'll reach out in the future or something like that. So
Mhm.
there are some great polite companies, but I have noticed that ever since I started like charging what I think is more fair, I'm losing a lot of deals. So in my head, it's like maybe I should start undercutting. Like I don't
Could
know,
I
like because
ask how much you charged before and how much you're currently asking for?
yeah. So before I would take a deal for like 800 to 1,000 for an ad read in one of my videos,
Mhm.
and you asked me like how much I charge for 30 seconds, 60 second,
Yeah.
whatever. I usually charge just the same amount. Like it doesn't matter if it's 30 or 60 seconds. Um,
Oh.
Yeah, I know that people do charge differently for those, but I have never done that before. I will charge more for dedicated though, obviously. If
Mhm.
you're on a whole video on my channel and you're gonna tank my analytics, then
Yeah.
you gotta pay for that. Um, I've done dedicated as well.
How much do you charge for one?
I did a dedicated for I think I'm trying to remember. I think I did one for 1,900 in early last year. And another consistent thing that happens to me is if I do like a flat rate deal, I
Mhm.
love CPM deals, but it's very rare to get them.
Yeah.
Every time I do a flat rate deal, I always knock it out of the park and they get the best deal they have ever gotten in their entire life. And I'm sitting here going, I should have charged more, like a
Mhm.
1,000%. I feel that like consistently. I did a dedicated ad for this new up and coming like mobile game that's supposed to be like Smash Bros. So I was like the perfect candidate. Like my channel was the perfect candidate for like that game.
Mhm.
And I charged him like 1,900 for it. And my video ended up doing like 230K views. It was the most viewed video on that game on YouTube. Like it did phenomenal.
Dude, they got,
And
like, a fucking steal on you. Holy.
they did. I'm trying to think. That should have been worth around like 4,000 plus dollars. Like had yeah been a fair deal. Like if they paid me fairly for that. Yeah.
Dude, for reference, I charge, like, $600 for a YouTube video. The math is not mathing that you charge 3 times as much as me, but you are astronomically larger on YouTube than I am.
Yeah. It's an interesting game. I think
Mhm.
maybe my negotiation skills suck. I mean, I feel like outside of YouTube, my negotiation skills are pretty good. I mean, I used to like buy and sell like smartphones when I was like a kid
Mm,
and stuff like that, or go to flea markets.
mhm.
So like I feel like my negotiation skills are okay, but I guess maybe I suck at emailing. Like I don't know what it is. Like I feel like maybe there's like a skill I'm lacking that prevents me from getting better deals, maybe. Not sure.
How much were you asking for now that you're saying you're getting ghosted for?
Now I ask for around 1,300 to 1,400 for a sponsored video, and
Like an ad read, you
um,
mean?
an
Or
ad
like a
read. Yeah,
dedicated okay.
no, yeah, an integrated ad, the
Okay.
30 second, the
Mhm.
60 second ad read. Um, and I'm curious, like, what metric you use to determine what you charge, and then I can share with you the one that I was
Okay.
told, like
For
over the
for
years.
YouTube, well, my YouTube one is not super accurate because this is a whole other like slightly side tangent, but you can get more if you have nothing to lose. Because I throw out what is determined like a high rate because I don't wanna do these fucking YouTube videos because I hate editing, and I especially hate editing, and when it's long form video, it's even worse because now I'm editing, like, a fucking 10-minute video. When it's, like,
Right.
TikTok, at least, it's, like, 90 seconds at most, and most companies don't even want you to go that long. They want, like, 60 seconds at most, so it's not bad. But I'm like,
Okay.
I don't fucking wanna do these videos. So 600 for a video is actually really high given, like, my numbers, my views, etcetera. So my YouTube calculation metric is not correct, but it's literally I have nothing to lose because I don't fucking wanna do it. So it's like, what would I be willing to pay, like, to take for a dedicated YouTube video? And 600 is a number that I'm comfortable with. But relatively, if you take the CPM and then you calculate off my views and then my subscribe, it ballparks in at about 350 actually for me.
350 CPM.
No, 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 like, per video, like, how much somebody of my size and, like, my channel analytics should typically get for a video. Comes in at
Okay.
about 300, 350. But I don't
And
wanna do
what CPM do you think is appropriate to charge on YouTube? That's I'm actually curious.
um, shoot. I'm not too familiar with this, to be honest. I know TikTok CPM. So TikTok CPM is 5 to 7 cents is the metric that I use for TikTok. And let me calculate that off of YouTube. I think that's a little too low.
5 to 7 cents per 1,000 views?
Um, per view. So it comes to $5 to $7 per 1,000.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Wow.
but also, like, I go off of because my TikTok engagement is really good, so I can get away with going with, like, a much higher CPM than an average creator on TikTok would use.
Right,
Because my engagement
right.
rate comes in at about 12% or 13%, which is really fucking high for, like, a relatively larger account, like, an account exceeding about 250,000 followers or exceeding 500,000 followers typically couldn't expect an engagement rate remotely that high.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I use for TikTok. YouTube, I'm not because I haven't used YouTube in, like, a year. So I'm, like, very rusty on that aspect. Does
Mhm.
that s I wonder if that let me try to calculate if that runs off of correctly off of YouTube.
Yeah,
That'd
and
be
I
too low
can
for YouTube, I feel like.
yes, yes, it would. So what I've always been told, and once again, like my main resource is like this
Mhm.
Discord server I brought up
Mhm.
earlier. We have always said that like if you can get 20 CPM for
Mhm.
an ad deal, then you're being paid very well.
Mm.
And you can go as low as 15 before you're not being paid fairly. Like you get if you
Mm.
get paid under 15, you're not being paid fairly. Um, so that's the kind of metric I use. So like in my head, and like I've actually talked to a couple other companies who have like
Mhm.
told me how they determine what they think they should pay me.
Mhm.
And they take my last 10 videos and they average it all up. And then whatever the average view count is, they multiply that times the 20 CPM. So right
Mm.
now, my average view count from my past 10 videos is around 60,000 views. You multiply that times 20 CPM, it's about 1,200 bucks.
Got it.
But some companies don't even want to pay that. They want to pay much lower.
I mean, that's what, like I feel like most companies in general, they always are trying to
Right.
get, like, the best deal possible, and they're always trying to, like, "How
Of
low can I
course,
pay
yeah.
this creator and still have him do the deal?" Like, it's also so what I don't I'm, like, blanking on the word for it, disrespectful? I'll get emails from companies, they're like, I want you to do a dedicated TikTok video for $50." And I'm like, "Where the fuck?" Well, this is gonna go on YouTube. Like, I'm like, "Where the hell did you get the audacity to offer $50 for a TikTok video?" You know what I mean? And, like, they just try
Yeah.
to a lot of times get away with, like, how low can they go? And I feel like, if anything, you're probably not negotiating incorrectly. I just think that when you start charging what is fair, a lot of companies will give a lot of pushback on it. Because suddenly they're not getting, like, a really, really great deal of, what was it, $1,900 for a video that got 230,000 views on it.
Yeah.
But it's
Deal of
like
a lifetime
apply
right
for
there for them.
yeah, it's like applying for jobs, It's like you
Yeah.
keep applying. Eventually one will say yes, and then or you need, like, a handful of interviews, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been a learning
Mhm.
process. Like sometimes if I feel like they're losing interest, um or sometimes like what will happen is like I do my offer, they do a counter offer, and then now I'm like, okay, if I am a little too what's the word, stubborn, or if I'm a
Mm,
little if like if I stand my ground here too strongly, like they're gonna leave. Like I
mhm,
can tell. So sometimes I'm like, I'll just take it. Like, it is what it is. Because I think, like, in my head, it works like this. Like,
Mhm.
I'd rather get underpaid
Yeah.
like 4 sponsors in a month to have that consistency
Mhm.
than to be paid fairly for 1 and have 3 people back out, and then, like, I'm making less money because I'm choosing to be more stubborn about my price. Like, that's how I'm thinking nowadays because it's like, I don't know. I feel like having more consistent income is better. Like,
No, I mean, like, I definitely see your logic because especially in this economy, like, it kinda sucks, but it's like, dude, at the end of the day, I mean, you got bills to pay, you gotta keep the lights on, so it's like,
yeah.
you could be stubborn and get no money, or you could, bend a little bit and then, hey, you'll get the 5K or something like that. Have you tried upselling yourself to these companies?
What does that mean?
Like, let's say a company comes to you and they're like, "Hey, we want 1 YouTube video from you, and we want an 60-second ad read in this one YouTube video, and we're gonna offer you $900, just a little bit, or $1,000, a little bit below your actual rate. And then you go back and you counter them and you're like, "Hey, my rate for this ad read is actually $1,300." And they're like, that's a little too high for your budget. Have you ever tried to be like, "Okay, well, let's negotiate a little bit. I also have a Twitch channel," or I guess we'll get to the Twitch later, but I'll throw the Twitch out for now. But you could offer something else too. Like, I will also edit this down into YouTube Shorts for you. And then I typically charge X amount for YouTube Shorts, and I'll bundle this together with the integrated ad in a regular video. And then I'll do both together for, I don't know, throwing out a random number here. Like, I'll do both together for $2,000.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So I have tried this.
Okay.
This is actually something you wrote in your sponsorship guide, which I have
I'm
read.
a very big fan of upselling people.
It's a very well written guide, by the way. So
Thank you.
did a good
English
job
is
on
not
that.
my forte, so I was like, hopefully this is legible to people because goddamn.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Okay.
And there's also like another person that like also talks about sponsorships, and I learned this idea from them where they said never just give a rate, offer packages.
Mhm.
So that was a cool technique that I
Yeah.
tried. I still do it, but it has never been successful for me. Like what I do
Mm.
is I have like I'll do like, okay, here's the packages. Here's like one integrated ad for 1,200, but then if you do two, I'll do it for 2,000. Then I put like you save $400. Like I'm trying
Yeah.
to like be all like marketing
Mhm.
whatever. Um, and then like I also really like to do like I said, I like consistency. So I'll do like, hey, we can do like 4 videos for the month, and then you can get each video for like, I don't know, like a really good rate, like maybe
Mhm.
800 each or something crazy. Um, but they never bite for whatever reason. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna stop trying to do it because I one day it will work.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully.
Mhm.
But I have tried that before. Yes.
Oh, that's so interesting. I feel like I'm also learning a lot too because again, I don't have very much of a YouTube presence, and I also did give up on YouTube for like the last year. So it's so interesting because from at least talking to you, it sounds like the YouTube partnership space it sounds like it looks a lot different than like what I'm experiencing on TikTok and like short vertical platforms. Because I also do a lot of Instagram deals too, because like companies are really looking for that. That's really interesting to know because it sounds like the space is like, I feel like at least from my experience with like upselling people on the stuff, I've had a lot of success with doing the upselling system to people and companies and stuff. But I think also the caveat is that like my presence exists on short form vertical platforms. I have very little presence in long form. So I think like it's easier to upsell in that regard than like because you are also creating more content. You have to do more work to take that long form video and cut it down. Because where else could you put that YouTube video? Like besides YouTube, there's no other horrors like 16 by 9 long form platform out there.
Right. That's true.
So then,
Versus like you make one TikTok, you can put
mhm,
on Reels, Shorts, and TikTok, like
yeah.
all 3.
Do you have a TikTok or Instagram?
I have a
Okay.
TikTok. I think it is in my link tree. That one was for like when I did streaming and it was
Okay.
like trying to like grow like my stream.
Mhm.
And then I tried to do like a shorts or like a TikTok thing that like promoted like my YouTube channel. But I ended up like giving up on it because I was like outsourcing the work, and I think
Oh.
someone wanted like $50 a pop to like edit the shorts, and then I was like, It's kind of expensive. Like I
Yeah.
decided I didn't want to do that, but I've been considering getting back into it. I feel like
Mhm.
I'm missing out on a lot of opportunities by not being present on
Mm.
vertical content.
Yeah, I feel like that could also maybe open up the world for like more revenue for you as well if you're also experiencing like or if YouTube in general is having this kind of like like sponsored drought a little bit and cuz at least like a lot of companies are really trying to monetize on the short form vertical videos. And again, like I'm
Yeah.
not very familiar with the YouTube thing because my YouTube presence is very lacking and the companies that I work with on YouTube are like the same companies I work with on TikTok. They just we
Oh,
want a video as well on YouTube. So I'm like, "Okay, well, now I have to edit a 6-minute video, but I'll take it for the money," you know, so
right, right,
Mhm.
right. And that's cool. So would you say you've established like more longer term relationships with companies so
Oh,
that you
yeah.
have more consistency?
Mhm. I
That's
think
wonderful.
it
I'm
also
trying
depends
to
on
do
our
that.
niche because you do gaming, and gaming as a niche, not only, 1, does not pay well, which sucks,
Yeah.
but also, like, I feel like tech companies are a lot more loyal than gaming companies from what I've seen personally. But again, this is like I have an outsider's view looking into gaming because I'm not fully in the gaming niche. I'm more in tech than gaming. Um, but from my experience, like I have really good relationships with a lot of companies and I'm friends with a lot of talent managers. And I be sure to build a relationship with a talent manager specifically so that they like me and they want to come and bring me more deals. And the manager that I literally interviewed on Monday night, like I knew her she I knew her when she worked at VidCon, and then she went to work for Razer, and then now she works at Sonic. So I've already known her for like over 3 companies that she's been with essentially. And like because we have a good relationship and we're friends, I like to think we're friends anyways. Whenever she has like opportunities, she tries to like fit me in there if possible. And it's also like I'm constantly shit posting under people's social media. The companies that I work with, I'm like your number 1 fan in your comments. Like, I'm always
Yeah.
there, always active, always commenting. I will if I really like the company, I will talk about them and make videos and streams and like talk about them on streams outside of what I'm paid to do. And I make sure they know that that it happens, you know, like when I'm making tweets about them, I'm always tagging them, making videos about them, always tagging them, so they see that I'm like very passionate about them. And I think that continuous enthusiasm on the company also makes them want to come back to me because they're like, oh, I know she really likes her products, etc. Like with Sony, I was partnered with them for these earbuds. I genuinely like these earbuds a lot. I convinced my friend to get them. But they really liked like how much I like the earbuds. I was talking about it on stream when I talked about it on stream, I sent them like segments of the VOD that I talked about them. I sent it all to them and I was like, this is when I talked about you on stream. I put a chat command, even though you didn't ask for one. I put it anyways. I was always talking about it. Here's all these people in chat that said they were gonna buy it because I told them to. And they saw that and they were like, oh, we have a campaign in December. We didn't want you actually, but we actually now want you because of like how enthusiastic you are about our product and how much you integrate it into your content. And I was
Yeah.
like,
That's
ding.
so cool. I see. I've done things like
Mhm.
that before. Like one of my favorite ones, I don't know how much you know about like YouTube history, but one of the most famous like um like campaigns of like a YouTuber trying to get like a company to sponsor them was
Mhm.
Game Grumps and how much they talked about Wendy's on their
Huh.
videos. They
Mhm.
did that for literally like 8 years, and Wendy's would not sponsor them. And then after
Really?
talking about them enough times, yeah, they finally sponsored one video, and it was like a big deal. So just like you
Wow.
sharing that with me, like reminded me of that whole
Uh-huh.
arc. It was a big deal because Wendy's doesn't sponsor creators. They don't. It's not something they do. Um,
I I need to keep that grind up with boba, guys. I've been wanting them to sponsor me. They don't sponsor people because 'cause they're a fucking boba shop, but
yeah,
I want a boba sponsorship from boba
I'm
guys
this.
specifically.
No, I totally get that. I was the same way with like I used to like when I streamed a lot, like there was a big meme that I would always eat pizza. So like we
Mm.
have like pizza memes and like for a long time I really don't wanted to be sponsored by either Domino's or Mod Pizza.
Mhm.
Those are like companies I really like. And I like memed with them. I even reached out
Mhm.
to Mod Pizza like on Twitter and email and they said
Wow.
like yeah, they were like, we like what you're doing. But like we'll have to talk to our higher ups and see what's up. And I ended up hearing nothing from them. So I
Mhm.
guess like they don't have like it's probably just like they've never done it before, so they don't know how
Yeah.
to approach that, you know.
Mhm.
But maybe I gotta just pick more companies that have worked with creators before. So then like they're like, well, we've done this before. So and they're enthusiastic about our product. So
I mean, if you also have a company where it's like they don't have a history of working with creators, I would also like send them ideas of how it would look like to partner with you. So if you have an example of yourself on stream where you're like talking about the pizza or whatever, you can come up with a concept where you're doing like a whole like kind of event stream where you are doing like a mukbang with chat as you are telling a story. I don't know, I'm, like, pulling stuff out of my butt right now, but,
yeah.
like, something like that, and you're like, "This is what it would look like to partner with me, and I will put your name in my title, and I would also make a time chat command for you, and here's an example of a previous company that I did this for, and here's the amount of clicks that I got for the link that I used in the chat command. Here's how many people watch my stream, and, what do you call it, like, da da da, here's, like, example screenshots of people saying they're gonna buy the product because I was talking about it on stream." Like, giving them
Wow.
those, like, visuals to see, and then you can also put it
Yeah.
in a PowerPoint slide too if you really wanna be fancy about it. But
That's
all of that
incredible.
together,
Yeah.
because that way, like, they can actually visualize what you are looking for and how it would look like to partner with you.
Yeah. And I honestly like hearing you talk about it, it's starting to show me like maybe that's where I lack. Like
Mhm,
I can do a lot of these steps, but the last part is like, marketing yourself and showcasing, hey, like look at all of the ripple effect I made
mhm.
around your product. Like this is why you should work with me. I've never done that part before. Um
You
like
gotta
for example,
advocate for yourself.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And I mean, I don't know, I've never done that before, so like
Mm,
it's a learning process for me. But just to like give you a little bit of like like a small story like with the pizza thing. I used to do this like big event on Twitch
mhm.
called Pizza Match because in like Super Smash Bros, like one of the big things in like Smash culture is money matching people. It's like it's part of the fighting game
Oh,
community. So
okay.
you walk up to someone at a tournament, you're like, "Hey, $5 money match," and then you battle it out for $5. And it's like it puts something at stake. So
Mhm,
like you try harder, right? It's like real. It feels
mhm.
more authentic. So we did pizza match where the loser would have to buy a winner a pizza.
Oh!
Yeah.
Wait, that's so
And
cute!
it was yeah, it was always Domino's and like we did like we made it a big event. It was like every Smash game that ever came out ever back to back and it was like
Uh-huh.
crazy. Like those were some of my highest viewed streams. Yeah,
Wait,
so
that could have been just something to pitch to Domino's. Be like,
I
"I would have
know.
slapped your name over it. We'll call it the Domino's pizza match." And
Yeah.
then, like, you'll have a chat command, etcetera. I learned all of this also because I used to work in an esports org, and we would do this for events to pitch to
Oh,
companies, where you would gather all of the key data points that a company would look for, and then throw everything into a slideshow. So the key data being, the amount of average viewers, the hours that you stream, so they kind of get like an idea, like the total unique viewers you got per stream. And then also literally screenshots of messages of people like hyping it up, saying they love it, saying they love the product so they can get even more visuals. All of that is in a pitch deck essentially. And then you would also pitch what the company would get for partnering with you. So you would come up with ideas of how an integration would already look like. So it's like you will get naming rights. So instead of calling it the pizza match, it would be called the Domino's pizza match. So they get their name
right.
in the brands. Show them where the logo, where how it would visually look like. So you're like, this bottom corner of my stream will have your logo, this square right here, and then a chat command that will be played every 15 minutes in chats, etc. Just so they can fully see. Like all of this, I learned from working at esports org. Yeah,
Wow.
that's how
That's
they
incredible.
pitch the events to companies. That's how these like little like Rocket League tournaments and whatever, they get all the sponsors. They have these behind the scenes where they host like essentially like a beta event, a test event, and then they use that to pitch to companies.
That's so cool. Yeah, and like I said, these are things that just
Mhm,
like I don't think about because like I said when I first started the interview, like I'm a creator.
mhm,
I'm not a businessman. Like I'm really bad at all this business stuff and it's been like a learning process for me to like understand. So
mhm.
yeah, all that stuff like happened like 5 years ago. It was a long time
Yeah.
ago. So, but no, it's good. It's good to know how you execute a
Mhm.
plan like that.
I mean, you can still do it now, so
Yeah,
can't
I
hurt.
could. Yeah, if I decide to
Ooh.
return to Twitch.
Oh, true. Cause I literally, like, when I gave you these notes, I had a whole section of Twitch, and then, like, after I gave it to you, I, like, went back and, like, did a little bit more stalking because I was like, is there anything else I could add?" And I saw your pinned tweet, and I was like, "Oh, I just never read this, I guess. That's cool." And I was like, "Okay, well, what am I gonna do with the Twitch notes now?"
Yeah, I mean, we could. I Here's the thing. Like, I
Mhm.
am not against returning to Twitch one day, but for
Okay.
me, it was like I'll talk about like one of the big struggles as to like why I decided to stop streaming,
Mhm.
and one of the big ones was like this is not healthy, but like I'm really like I love this is so bad. I love putting all my eggs in one basket. Like
Mm.
I like when I was streaming, I gave it my all. I
Mhm.
streamed like once again, this is bad. I streamed like 12 plus hours a day.
Oh my god.
And then I get off and then I'd edit the TikToks, I edit the YouTube
Wow.
videos, and like it was something that I put like everything into. Obviously, that's really bad. But like I thought, okay, like I understand working less sometimes is better, but
Yeah.
like what if I just work more? Will I see results slightly faster than someone who works less? And I tried that for a whole year and I didn't really see what I wanted. And
Mhm.
then also like I low key kind of have like issues with just the fundamentals of like how streaming works. I
Mhm.
really would rather take a paycheck from a big company that can afford to put that amount of money in my pocket than like normal people watching me. Um like I'm so down for the Prime subs because it's like that's
Yeah.
not even but like when someone donates large amount to me, I'm just like and then here's the worst part. They'll donate large amount to me and I'm extremely grateful. But then like a few weeks later, I'll see them talking in chat and saying like, "Oh, like I can't make my car payment." And I'm like, "Dude, like you just gave me money." Like I just feel so guilty about it. So for me, like if I were to, like I always said, like if I were to like do streaming, I'd want to like be funded by from the right places, the
Mhm.
places that make me feel like this is worth it. Um and I just wasn't really making that much on Twitch. I didn't know how to get sponsors for Twitch, so it made me just kind of like go,
Mhm.
maybe I should spend my time on YouTube where at least I know how to make money there.
Got it, got it. That's, like, a really valid concern. I feel like everybody that has streamed that I've talked to has had that moral conflict, and I have the same conflict where it's like, that's why I have an Etsy shop because and, like, coffee because 'cause I'm like, "Please don't sub to me." Like, I would feel so uncomfortable knowing the same thing, you know? If you sub to me and then you're like, "Ah, I can't make my car payment," like,
It's like, yeah,
that
it's
ethically I would not be able to sleep at night knowing that. But, like,
yeah.
you know, selling a product, like, I sell my art or, like, you know, I don't mind robbing a corporate, like, a company, like, I don't care about companies, right? We take their money, but not from, like, actual human beings, like, people, individuals. Like, it feels so bad, and it's, like, a really tough area to kind of tread. So, I mean, I would also argue, though, you're not really putting necessarily all your eggs in one basket. Putting all your eggs in one basket would be streaming on Twitch, but, like, not doing the YouTube, not doing the TikTok aside from that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But I just meant like streaming was like all I cared
Mm.
about. Like I just wanted to like but no, I see what you're saying
Mhm.
100%. Yeah, before I stopped, I really was a big fan of TikTok Live.
Mm.
That brought in a lot of people.
I'm literally live
Um,
on TikTok right now, and it brings people into my stream all the time. Except they're always
yes.
like, because I don't stream my POV, like Twitch, to them, so they only see me talking. So they're in TikTok live being like, "Why are you just sitting and nodding to people?" 'Cause my I've
Oh.
been having issues with, like, OBS dying on me midstream, and, like, about 1 in 5 streams, OBS will crash, so I'm like, I'd rather not have it die when I'm doing these interviews with people, so
Okay,
they
so
can
you
get
just
this
have like your
POV.
phone in like a little
Yeah, yeah,
tripod
it
stand
literally,
thing.
like, is
That,
just, like, facing me.
that's what I did too, except mine would be aimed at like the computer.
Oh, that's
Um
smart.
Well, like I would, I'm gaming, so like
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
show like, but like I like kind of I didn't invest a lot, but I like had like my own little like tripod for it,
Oh,
and then I even bought like this like clip-on lens so that it was like a wide angle lens so it could capture like the
wow.
full monitor. That was a lot of fun. TikTok brought in a lot of new people, and that's
Mhm.
definitely like one of the fastest ways to grow that I found for Twitch, 100%.
TikTok live goes crazy. Then what would bring you back to Twitch? Because you said you're not opposed to coming back here.
I think what would bring me back is one of two scenarios.
Mhm.
First scenario number because I love streaming, like just doing it, like the action
Mhm.
of like actually streaming. I love that. So the first thing would be I figure out how to make like FU money on YouTube, and then like I'm just so well off that I can just waste time on Twitch and not care what the
Mhm.
results are. You know, that would be probably the most ideal scenario because then I can just play whatever I want whenever I want. I don't have to think about like how am I going to grow my stream because it doesn't
Mhm.
matter. But that's a bit unrealistic.
Yeah, that's
Scenario
the
number
dream, right?
2, that's the dream, right, right. Scenario number 2 would be that I try to figure out like an actual reasonable growth strategy for Twitch
Mm.
that appeals to what I want out of streaming, but also is like realistic for what growth is. I I'm really bad at being a traditional streamer. I don't like playing the same game every single time.
Mm.
Like I used to be, But like as I've gotten older, I just like I'll play a game and then like I'll have my little phase and then I just want to move on like to something else.
Got it.
And that can be pretty difficult for streaming, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same with your YouTube, right? You have like 12 YouTube channels 'cause like, "Ooh, you know, game, game, game," and then we have new channel, new channel. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't, like, switch channels on Twitch, you have to do it all on the
Yeah.
same thing, so
Mhm,
it's just different, but yeah, YouTube, at least you can kinda separate it,
mhm.
which is nice.
Yeah, it's definitely possible to grow as a variety streamer, but it's like you're picking Twitch growth on hard mode, essentially, to start as a
Exactly,
variety streamer.
and that's what happened, like, the year that I grinded 12 plus hours a day, sometimes
Mhm.
15, 16 hours a day, um, uploading TikToks, like, highlights, YouTube
Yeah.
videos. I went from averaging, like, 19 to 20 viewers because, like, this was after a 2-year break prior.
Mhm.
I've taken a lot of large breaks from Twitch,
Yeah, I pulled up
but
your
I went.
data. I'm looking at your Twitch tracker.
Yeah, yeah. I had my big run, like, I think
Yeah.
2017, 2019, and then but yeah, when I came back, I was, like, averaging, like, 19, like, around 20, and then
Mhm.
I think I finally made my way up to, like, 35 to 40. So, like, I had doubled over, like, a
Yeah.
year, which is okay, but, like, not that great. Like, I mean, like,
Mhm.
in my head, I was like, "Okay, how much longer do I need for this to be sustainable?" And the answer was, like, way too long, so
Got it, got it. I mean, I would also argue you're streaming like crazy hours though. Again, I pulled up your Twitch tracker. I'm like taking a peek at it. Some months you're pulling in, holy, you have 223 hours, 228 hours, and then another month where you pulled 11 hours, and then you pulled 227 hours, 302 hours, 191 hours. These are all within like the end of 2021 into midway 2022. Like just these numbers. These are I am a full-time content creator and I call myself a full-time streamer and I do like what, 60 hours a month max?
yeah, I was crazy.
That's
I would
crazy.
stream on my computer, and
Yeah.
then during this time, I moved back in with my mom temporarily.
Uh-huh.
So, and she had like a one bedroom, so I had
Mhm.
my computer set up like in her room. So I'd stream like 8 hours like on the PC,
Mhm.
and then my mom would be like, "Hey, I need to sleep because I got like a normal job and
Yeah.
stuff." So I'd get off and I'd
Mhm.
open my laptop and go in the kitchen, and I'd do like another like 4 or 5 hours. Like,
Wow. That is crazy. I love your dedication though, because that's some level of dedication that is like unfounded in people.
yeah, I chalk it up to, like, my addictive personality, like, if I just get
Mm.
hooked on something, like, once it became routine to me, it didn't matter. I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay, I'm just doing this, like, it's just part of life now,
Dude,
like, it's fine."
I feel you. People are always like, "Cat, how do you post like 3 TikToks a day?" It's
The
like light
routine.
work. It's literally
Yeah.
routine. You just wake up, film for like hours and hours, then do
Yeah,
more
yeah,
work. I don't
I'm on
know.
autopilot right now, I don't even know what's going
Exactly.
on, like, it's just it
Exactly.
happens.
Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow, 16 hours of work happened. Huh. Who knew?
Yeah.
Alright, time to sleep." Like, I mean, it's good for content creation, but it's also hard for your mental health because after a certain point, you just burn out like no tomorrow, and you're like, "Oh, it does catch up to you after all, doesn't
Yeah.
it?"
Yes, that's literally what happened to me, I was like, "Okay, I'm done."
Mhm. The
Yeah.
burnout is rough. I'm
Yeah.
curious, how does then now your content creation income relate to your cost of living? Do you feel secure in your space?
I do, but
Mhm.
I decided to make a very financially irresponsible decision, and I moved from the best state to live as a content creator to the worst state to live as a content creator.
Mm.
I moved from Texas to California.
I guessed it. In my head, I was like, "It must be Texas to California."
Yeah.
Man, you went from no income tax to fucking California?
I mean, I just got here, so I don't get to feel the
Okay.
effects until 12 months later, but
I
yeah,
mean, you'll
that'll be
feel it in
fun.
your food. It's like, "Oh, wow, why is lunch like $30?"
Yeah, no,
What
like even
happened?
avocados are like 28 cents in Texas. They're like 75 cents here. It's like already like everything's tripled, like
Where are you
basically.
finding avocados for 7? I paid like $2 for one.
I'm a big Walmart fan. Walmart is the secret to living a cheap life. It's incredible.
I did a Walmart partnership recently. I was so glad. I literally pitched it like, "Walmart is my favorite." I have bonding moments with my dad and my grandma because we would go to Walmart every week when I was a child. We love Walmart. Please work with me. Like,
Wow, I didn't know they worked with creators. That's
they
crazy.
do, but they're very particular, I suppose. Like, the work that I did with them was for a mobile game. So,
Oh wow,
it was
okay.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah, my mom's like, "Walmart is your dad's favorite." Oh, yeah. Mans loves Walmart, but it was, like, through a mobile game called Zepeto for, like, clothing. So, the brand The opportunities that I've so far seen with Walmart have only been targeting female creators because it's been looking for, like, clothing and fashion and lifestyle,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
not really, like, anything else Walmart sells, which is a lot of stuff, so
Mhm.
I don't know, but, I mean, you need to land a Walmart deal and then go sell them on the cheap avocados.
Yes, I will. I'll be sure to start emailing him, see what happens.
Okay, wait, so you're a full-time creator. Okay, so we covered that one. What do you feel like your biggest struggles of monetization have been as a creator?
Okay,
Mhm,
so big one is absolutely what we touched on a little earlier, which is like the consistency of sponsors.
mhm,
I think for 2024, that's going to be my big goal.
yeah,
I'm going to try to just take deals that are not ideal for me and see like, okay, at the end of the day, is the math
mhm,
like working out better? Um, besides that, um, I would say yeah, just consistency. That's really the hardest part I think every creator struggles with. Like, you
mhm,
know, it can be you have to budget very differently when you're like, okay, well, I have a
mhm,
large amount of money now and I'm not entirely sure what the future holds. So maybe I should
exactly.
not spend a lot of
Uh-huh,
this or just hold on to it. I'm a big like financially, oh, this is like horrible as well.
mhm.
I don't have savings.
I
I
was gonna ask that. Oh, wow, okay.
I don't have savings, but I'm not a total idiot. Like I
Mhm.
just every time I have money and then like I know I'm not going to need the money, I just throw it into like crypto or like stocks or just anything cuz it's like
Crypto. You're
Roth
killing me here.
IRA.
Okay,
Like yeah, like
okay.
I just like in my head it's just like okay, money loses value when it's in your account and
Mhm,
like this isn't forever. Like I like everyone goes, "What are you going to do when it's time to retire?" Like I don't know.
mhm,
So I'm trying to make sure that like the money I make is growing so when it's time to quit, I don't just have nothing. You know what I mean? Like I got to make
mhm.
sure that it's turning into something. So,
Wait, I'm so intrigued because you're, like, obviously financially illiterate enough to even know what a Roth IRA is, but you don't have savings at all? What is holding you back from, like, putting some like, building an emergency fund for I guess, I suppose with the exception of you moving, which probably ate into a lot of money.
yeah, moving ate into a lot of it. I actually just bought like a 22-year-old Honda just to, you know, be able to get around while
Yeah.
I'm here. I mean, that all ate into it a lot.
Uh-huh.
So like I thought about that ahead. I'm like, okay, I'm
Okay.
moving. I'm going to keep money here for now
Okay.
and then, you know, use that. But yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people in my age, they have like Excel sheets of like their finances and stuff. I've never done that before. Like I just kind of think a little more shorter term in like chapters and then just go with that.
Mm. I would recommend sitting down and making an Excel sheet if you do choose to do so. I also was like a dude, I don't want to look at these numbers, bro. Like, I don't like numbers as it is. Like, why do I want to now deal with this stupid Excel sheet thing? But I actually did a little like Excel sheet thingy for I literally Googled like income Excel sheet, whatever, and I just yoinked the first one that looked pretty off Google and I put my numbers in it. It actually actually big fan of it. It just I feel
Okay.
at least personally, it helps kind of visualize where you're at, and I didn't wanna look at it for a long time. I didn't wanna look at my spending for a long time because I DoorDash a lot, and I was like, "Oh god, I don't wanna see it be like a lot of money to DoorDash," and I'm like,
I had a
yeah.
DoorDash phase. I know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
It's
I
crazy.
literally DoorDashed my Double Key today and my boba today, actually, which is not good, but
Okay.
we're working on it. In my defense, at least
Yeah.
I'm eating food, so could be
Yes.
worse, but
Nutrition is great.
exactly. But it's one of those, like, "Oh, I didn't wanna look at it," because it's like, once I see it, then I know there's a problem. So if I don't look
Yeah.
at it, there's no problem. But I found that it was personally really helpful. But it's like, I feel like it's up to you. Some people just like, it doesn't work well with them.
No, I had no idea you could literally just take like a pre-existing Excel
Oh,
sheet
yeah.
and use that. I in my head I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to watch like a 20-minute tutorial on how to make an Excel sheet and then punch all
No,
my stuff
wait.
in.
Wait, in what fuck, let me try to find it. Income calculator. Wait, income Excel sheets tracker. I literally looked that up and I went on Google and I was like, what's a pretty looking one? Because I don't want one that looks kind of like too complicated because it makes my brain hurt. And then I just yoinked one that I thought looked nice. Yeah, honestly, if you just look that up, I can't find the one that I use currently, but if you look up like income Excel sheet tracker, there's like tons.
I will.
Yeah,
I
that's
actually
literally
plan
what I
to
did. And then
Yeah, I was gonna say I plan to rewatch
Mhm.
this and then like because I'm not taking notes, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
plan to rewatch this and like go back and like
Mhm.
work on the things that
I'll
we
cut it
talked
for my
about.
YouTube and use you for mid-roll ad monetization, but I probably won't
Sounds
get much
good.
because I'm not doing a good job of cleaning up my language. Okay, but final thing, because we gotta wrap this up because I have one more person coming on today.
Right, of course, of
Um,
course.
Shout yourself out. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter
Mhm,
at Linklight with two T's. One T is taken, working on it. Or Instagram, Linklight with one T.
mhm. Got it,
That's
got
about
it.
it. Yeah.
You don't wanna shout out the YouTube?
Okay, Linklight 2 TOO. That's where I upload most of my stuff. If you like
Mhm.
Smash and things like Smash, you might find it interesting.